Hey YouTube, what's up? Malagant here. Coming with like an update video. It might actually end up being a little bit longer than I could have done it, let's say. Because like I don't necessarily have something prepared and I don't necessarily like editing, as you know. Not that I have the time either, to be honest with you, streaming about like 9 to 8 hours every day. So in this one I actually wanted to talk about like how the decay progression is going. It's a little bit slow. I'm putting the videos a little bit like slower than I would like, to be honest with you, and apologies for that. How it's going right now on stream is that like while the decay was on softcore, as you know, like a fresh start, I also decided to make a Battlemage on hardcore that's going to be using the same set, the Aether Battlemage. So the Craig, you know, how we are going to be making the decay is going to it's gonna end up like using the Aether decay set, the Craig set, yeah. So the one that is farmable. That's why it's like a good character for a new character, because like your new character usually doesn't necessarily have the items, but this set is farmable. So it's a good first character. So I was obviously saying always, like even at the first video of the DK, I was saying that like if it was up to me, I would open it in Battlemage. So I'd like basically open the Battlemage, and I did get to like level 94 today. Afterwards, we started farming with my Arcanor on the screen that you see. You have also seen it in action on YouTube as well a couple of times. If I'm not mistaken, I'm actually playing my Arcanor character in Steps of Torment while talking about the Forgotten Gods wishlist. In fact, this is one of the better characters I have ever done, to be honest with you. It is really good overall. It's not necessarily the best DPS I have done, or it's not necessarily the best tankiness I have done, but everything combined, 100% really the best character so far I have played. That said, like I was playing this today while farming for my Battlemage, the Craig pieces. It was not necessarily going that great, but my motivation was coming from I was actually like nemesis with like almost literally everything with this guy. I have even killed Reaper of Loss, so there was only like 2 targets remaining. One of them was like Alexander, the Aether Vanguard nemesis, and the other one that was remaining was the Gravathol. This is the Chthonian nemesis in Ashes of Malmouth. I'm kind of scared of fighting Gravathol for now, but like today I have decided that I can probably fight Alexander. So while farming for the Craig set, we were gonna get Nemesis, and then afterwards I did, and let me actually like disable my cam right over here, and we can watch it together. I guess.
Build just around that item itself, and without that item, it wouldn't be as strong, or like even not really possible at all. But yeah. So what do we have here? We have that one. We have this one. I think I'm gonna try and like face tank it. I'm gonna put this helm into the bank just in case.
I'm talking about the Craig helm,
I'm gonna
obviously.
face tank a meteor right here and see like what happens.
I'm saying I'm gonna face tank a meteor and see what happens. Alexander's meteor is ridiculously harder than you guys. That said, actually, like there was the Craig. Let me put my cam on again. There was the Craig helm on my bag, and I'm like, just in case, let me put it to the bank. You know what I mean? And we are making our way towards like look at this on the minimap. Like you can see the Alexander right over there, the skull is over there. Like this is the first time that I'm, you know, going towards the farming spot right after reaching Nemesis on stream. Oh, for some reason the video stopped, even though we can like still hear sound. There it is. All right, it's gonna fix now. Nice.
Alright, this is like possibly the worst spot to fight in. Let's just click the same potion twice, man.
5 million iron bits I have. Alright, so this is the guy, okay? Alexander. Right before we can jump into this, we can talk about his abilities. He has a massive meteor that you should not fail on. Unfortunately, it's not that easy to avoid, especially in a map like this. The frame rate is rather low. On top of everything, you can get like body blocked every now and then, and he's pretty fast running. As you just saw, like how he reached to me. And on top of that, like his meteor is hitting out of his fucking mind. it's like a one-shot mechanic pretty much. Like you could definitely survive. We will actually survive it really soon because I've decided to like face tank it. On top of that, he has some sort of like a frontal cone shotgun mechanic with like lots of projectiles. That should be avoided as well, at least most of them, so that you don't necessarily get shotgunned to death. And if I'm not mistaken, his meteors are also capable of putting shit ton of debuffs. So if you're like failing at his meteors, you end up like really vulnerable because of the debuffs that you're going to be taking. That is for the most part what I know about the fight. So that was one meteor that got dodged. These are like the projectiles, as you can see, that you should not be taking all of them at the same time. That is one meteor that I took. Now, that was quite deadly actually. So I instantly paused the game over here. Because I know something is up. Like that is... I've been playing this game for too long. I also like basically like instantly reacted to a meteor that was like ridiculously hard this thing too, but I already saw the debuffs that I'm running at this point. We have triple vulnerability debuff. So I stop the game, I go to my clips, I create a clip. Alright, let's watch it together. At this point, I'm kind of curious, like, how much did it hit me for? And I do know that, like, if I continue to fight, I'm gonna die. I actually almost managed to pose it there. There it is. 930 HP. As I take the meteor from 16,000 if I'm not mistaken. One another thing is that I want you to look at this thing right over here on my mouse.
I'm gonna die here.
So the thing that I showed is the image is the buff of Seed of Inquisitor. I have talked about this on like what is the most valuable or like the strongest spell of Inquisitor. It is the Inquisitor seal. If you'd like to watch it, it's another video available on my YouTube. So basically that buff is saying that I'm standing on my Inquisitor seal. It is like an absorption. So if it wasn't for that absorption, maybe we could have died there. So that I was still inside my seal. That pretty much like saved my ass. So I do say that I'm gonna die here. I think like I definitely think that I'm gonna die here if I continue fighting, because like we're not even so far into progressing versus this guy. And that's an Unpause.
I knew it. I fucking knew it too.
This is just ridiculous. Let's go to the top clips. So this is the top clip. I want you to check something out. Before I'm posing, I want you to check my buffs out right now. You see, this time I'm not inside my seal. This time I'm not inside my seal. I'm almost maximum HP. I am standing in my seal. Actually, I'm gonna like open my Steam. We're gonna jump into Grim Dawn. I want to show you something with the seal, in fact. But that being said, look at my buffs. I don't have my seal. Even though I just casted it underneath me, it takes a split second or maybe even 2 seconds for you to start gaining the buff from the Seed of the Inquisitor. So that being said, I'm getting shotgunned here. Boom, okay? Like, look at all these projectiles that are flying all around the place. There was in fact like only 3 projectiles. I think there was like 4 of them if I'm not mistaken, in fact. yeah, that's about like 3 projectiles that's capable of killing me. Basically, like I would have absorbed about like at least 3 times the seal from this. Maybe I would have survived if I was in it. Let's jump into Grimdawn. Let's jump into Grimdawn. I want to show you something. The cam, the layout as well. Alright, let's get it. Right now is the moment to pay the respects to Arcanor, guys. My best character. And my Battlemage is on the works. It's almost, in fact, done. So let's jump into this guy right over here, because it's another Tactician that I have that I killed the Ravager with. Back to this Inquisitor Seal subject. So this is the buff, the barrier, okay? So we are out of it. We'll put it down. About like 2 seconds, give or take, that it takes. 1, 2. It's exactly 2 seconds after the cast for the Inquisitor Seal to register as a buff on your character. So one thing that I can say is that like Inquisitor Seal, I've talked about this, is ridiculously strong against shotgun mechanics because it's making them pretty much obsolete. It is making the game incredibly easier, simply because shotgun mechanics, how they work is that they have like number of instances that are landing a hit on you. Some of them, you know, ends up being a crit if your defensive ability is not enough, which probably is not the case here. But Inquisitor Seal is capable of, like, since it doesn't have a cooldown, or like it doesn't have like a maximum instances, it ends up like absorbing from every single hit of those you know, shotgun mechanic, or like the pellets or whatever, or the projectiles in this case. So since I wasn't on top of my seal, in fact, I instantly take the entire damage from every single projectile and I die. I don't necessarily know how many projectiles were there, even though it looks like 3, should be more, because like we have seen a lot more on the explosion way before. I don't necessarily think like the 3 projectiles can be killing me. At the same time though, we had 3 vulnerabilities too. So, well, so from all these things, what I can tell is that I might have done a misplay. And on top of this, Alexander is a fucker. But I might have done a misplay. So chances are, after freaking out, I should have just stood inside my seal and fought him, I think. Not really sure. That is a massive enemy. This is my 2nd death, in fact. Alexander. My first one was like a year ago when I was playing Grimdawn once again. Let me see. I'm not really sure if you guys have seen this actually on YouTube, but that is one of the like most viewed of my clips. It is this guy right here. I do enjoy the long grinds too. So. And we are going to be playing. I died. He just wants. This is another hilarious one, because like he's not even on my screen, and this was like a long time ago where you didn't necessarily have the Nemesis icons on your minimap. Like you kind of need to see them by your own eyes, you know, when it comes to like the actual graphics and stuff. So like there was no warning on the map if the Nemesis is there or not. Like over here, he's basically sneaking, like he's right behind my cursor right now. Like that is just incredibly brutal. He was like exactly the same spot this time too. But so the same Nemesis, same spawn. Alexander is 2 and I'm 0. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go for like another attempt as well. I just don't necessarily know like what sort of character I want to make around this guy. We'll see. We'll see. So this being said, I kind of wanted to say sorry for like how slow the DK videos are coming up. I think I'm going to be making like 1 or maybe 2 parts every other day or something like that. I don't necessarily want to rush with that guy. It's just like strictly for YouTube, and it's definitely like some other content for my stream, that's for sure. It's obviously like really non-interactive with the chat and stuff like that. At the same time, it's a really grind as well. Since it's a fresh start, it was on veteran. And you probably get the point. But I've just managed to complete a Battlemage. In fact, like before making this video, like I have closed the stream and then this is where I'm at right now. I think I'm missing like a couple of reputation pieces, like maybe like Ashes of Malmouth and well, Malmouth Resistance, I should say, and like Barrowholm, if I'm not mistaken. We do have like our fair share of like problems, something like degenerating energy. Have you ever seen this, by the way? I have way too many auras open that like instead of, you know, I cannot sustain the auras. That's one of the problems that I have with this character. But at the same time, I have 3.3k offensive ability on this guy. So it is going to be like an interesting playthrough, in fact. And I can quickly kill some stuff for you. Maybe we can run like a Force Aaron or something, since that is like the last one that is up. In fact, let's go kill Cronley. Never mind that one. Alright. Get out of your blade barrier, please, Nata. Is it too loud? I'm not really sure. Guys, did you know that like when you max out Blitz, it's actually hitting out of his mind? There's some sort of like an AoE as well. So I don't necessarily know, personally, if this character is gonna end up being better than DK. The thing is, it will most likely be simply because I have the resources on my hardcore, right? Like my softcore character is going to be like a starter character, since I don't have any recipes. You know, this character like ended up crafting like 2 items. It has like full legendaries all over the place. The DK is gonna end up like having just a set. It will showcase like what I could farm in that case to have like a good weapon in my hands, a good shield in my hands, what I would do to like just basically make the best out of that character. That is the point of that content. So at the end of the day, I don't want you guys to like compare this character to that character, because like the resources that are available to me is just ridiculously different. You know what I mean? For me to be able to compare them, I would not need to make a complete DK on my hardcore account as well. That's for sure. That is why we were playing softcore anyways, to like basically have like an absolute fresh start, no trade, and absolutely no help from like my bank, my stash, and my blacksmith. As you can see, the character has like a little bit have 0% bleed resistance there. It was the Mad Max. The Jackie, I think. I'm not really sure about that, the name of that hero actually. Did this background? It's like the highest crit that I have gotten so far, 166. That doesn't sound like it's too high, is it? Oh well. So I'm going to be working on this character. It is almost finished. I don't necessarily understand like how strong it is right now, to be honest with you. Like I need to run like some hard stuff. I need to run something like Ancient Grow, maybe like do some Nemesis here and there, see if it's capable of tanking this and that. If it is, and if is it like missing, you know, health or something, or like lifesteal, let's say. Most likely other values are going to be fine for the most part, I think. So if it might actually end up missing some like minus resistances or something. Is definitely possible, because that is the difference between the Battlemage and the Deathknight. If you remember, the Deathknight has a passive aura that is coming from Necromancers that's giving you the minus Aether resistance. In fact, that's pretty high if I'm not mistaken. Let's go to like Grim Tools here. Let's go to like Necromancer. I don't necessarily know, like it might be 25% or something though. So yeah, it is going to be 25, isn't it? It is actually minus 33%, and that's full uptime, and it's really reliable as well. So missing that much minus resistance, and there's a possibility that you could actually end up like overcapping it for like 15, 16, something like that. It might actually become like minus 40 or so. That is insane, definitely. So that is the biggest difference between the two characters. Obviously, the Battlemage, the Arcanist part is giving you like flat damage and new like better, probably a better exclusive aura, and this conversation could continue forever, to be honest with you, but at the end of the day, yeah, I'm not really sure like which one would fare better. I would need to like play both of them, to be honest with you, to understand. One thing that is certain is that, like, in my honest opinion, Deathknight is going to be a better starter character because Arcanist would require like way too good items to be performing really good, for sure. Simply because like how passive the Deathknight is, definitely, and obviously the Deathknight is favoring playing with shield as well because of the exclusives. You don't necessarily have the Rictus power to go against, so instead what do we have? Let me see. Instead, you could go for... You cannot go for this. There's no way. It would only give you offensive ability and movement speed. You can go for the min here. I guess you could go for like Master of Death, which is like offensive ability and defensive ability, and a little bit of like vitality resistance as well. But to be honest with you, let's get real here. Like that's not that great. Definitely not. Like we could check it out. It's not even 10% offensive ability. It's really not that great. And the last one is actually converting your physical damage to vitality, so it's nerfing your character in a manner. So I suppose you do need to go with the shield. So it definitely like favors some sort of like a character that doesn't necessarily have like everything legendary or like really good greens and stuff like that, you know. So it is definitely favoring the fresh account, that's for sure. Maybe even the strongest one, as I said. I'm not really sure. This is going to be it from me for today. Thank you very much for watching. I really enjoyed that you. I really hope that you enjoyed my death. I am going to be linking, not this one, but I'm going to be linking the recent death. Our clip is not necessarily the most entertaining one, to be honest with you. It's just me unposing the game into death, but feel free to watch it as many times as you want. And don't forget to pay the respects. Catch you later, YouTube. Thank you for watching.